how the CMO role is changing, yes, Google TV is back, and Hulu shines a light on Gen Z. All that and more on episode 4 of the CMO Weekly. Hey everyone, I'm Mike Proulx and welcome to the CMO Weekly. Let's start off by looking at how the CMO role is changing. Lisa Mann of executive search firm Raise International spoke with Ad Age last week and pointed out the CMO seat at the table is dwindling. Increasingly, they're reporting to roles like Chief Growth Officer and not the CEO. And they're no longer the sole keeper of consumer behavior as responsibility for consumer insights spans corporate functions. Not sure that's a bad thing. And of course, there's the shortening tenure of the CMO, now averaging just 41 months, down from 43 months in 2018, according to Spencer Stuart. What this means is that it's more critical than ever for CMOs to demonstrate their value as a connector, a bridge builder, and a hub of all things marketing within organizations. One of the many things that was announced at this past week's Google Pixel 5 event, a completely redesigned and standalone Chromecast that's untethered from the smartphone. It now has a remote control and a brand new UI, ironically called Google TV. Yes, that is a throwback from Google's first and failed attempt at OTT exactly 10 years ago. This is important because in the world of marketing, it's yet another signal that the TV scales have tipped on the side of streaming, and that just has loads of implications for advertisers. Speaking of which, this past week, Hulu released a third installment of its Generation Stream consumer research study, this time honing in on Gen Z. Among the many insights Hulu reported are that 60% of Gen Z streamers span multiple races, cultures, or languages. 77% of them believe that demographic markers like race, gender, and sexuality they don't fit neatly into a box. And 68% of Gen Z streamers consider themselves to be citizens of the world. This, among other findings, continues to place demographics on a fluid spectrum and not a fixed given. There's a ton more insights on this report from Hulu, and you can download it in the show notes right below. Finally, last Tuesday on NECN, I spoke about Facebook's announcement of the Oculus Quest 2, available on October 13th, which is being touted resoundingly as the best VR headset on the marketplace right now. Here's a short clip from that segment.
So why is everyone who's kind of in the know so excited about this new virtual reality headset?
It's because it's been completely redesigned by Oculus and Facebook to be really accessible to the masses. So I think we have to look at what's going on in the VR landscape, that it's actually mainstream now. eMarketer estimates that there is about 52 million people in the US that use VR headsets, and that's a 21% year-over-year increase from last year. So it's not just about teens playing video games anymore. It's also about things like doing fitness and doing corporate training, or even medical surgical simulations, or getting over stage fright. So VR has really become a thing, and this particular headset, because it's been redesigned, is just very approachable for the everyday person.
Wow, okay, so I was just thinking for gamers, but I guess you can do fitness, and we're doing everything at home, so that makes sense.
I've left a link to the full NECN segment in the show notes below, as well as links to everything else that I talked about today. And you all know the drill. If you enjoy this episode, please give it a like and share it with your colleagues. Let's spread the word about the CMO Weekly, and I will see you next Sunday evening on episode 5.